Welcome to Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton, where we equip pastors to take their churches from declining to thriving by pointing them to a new future and a new hope. Join us weekly for encouragement and practical advice in your pastoring journey.
Here we are once again in the hallowed halls of Spurgeon Library.
On Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day.
We came in here on Thanksgiving Day to
why?
do this podcast just for you.
Yeah. No, we didn't. We did it because if we stayed home, we'd have to work.
That's true.
So we decided we'd come here.
So we got away from our family, all the in-laws. And we're here on Thanksgiving Day.
We got to get back for football, but we do want to talk a little bit about Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton, who's sitting right there, and Mark Hallock.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm Dan Hurst. And since it's Thanksgiving, and it's a special day for all of us, some of you are traveling while you're listening on this day.
For you Canadians, sorry.
Yeah.
Your Thanksgiving was a month ago.
So, but you
Is
had
it
a great...
really? Is that
Yeah,
true?
Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving is like October the 12th.
Oh, that was a great podcast.
Really?
And we did Thanksgiving podcast on, it was the Canadian Thanksgiving podcast. Did you miss that one?
It was awesome.
It was great.
The Canadian Thanksgiving podcast.
So today we're going to talk, it would be interesting, I think maybe let's talk about Thanksgiving.
We should.
Hey.
Thankfulness.
How crazy would that be?
So let me just start with this.
Yeah.
The Word says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. All right, Thessalonians. So, first of all, we talk about this, and we all know we have sermons about Thanksgiving and so forth and so on. What's the one thing? I'm catching you off guard. You said we're going to do this.
I don't think people know. I said we're just going to do a Thanksgiving podcast, and you guys said, "Well, what we're going to talk about?" I said, "I don't know. Let's just open our mouths and see what comes out."
Turn on the mics, see what happens.
Like
All
I
right.
preach every Sunday. So we're just going to give it a shot here.
Okay, so
There's nothing in front of us. We have no idea where we're going with this.
Yeah.
And it's probably not going to end well. But it's Thanksgiving, and let's be honest, nobody's listening anyway.
That's right.
all right. So
You're all watching football and eating. Nobody's. We got maybe. No one's listening to this.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you a question.
I'm not even
then.
going to listen to this.
Let me start with this. Clifton,
What?
what was the last thing you were thankful for?
The last thing I was thankful for, that I didn't hit that car in front of me on 435 when I wasn't paying attention. I mean,
25
seriously.
25 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was that 20 minutes ago on the way here. Like, whoa, that was close. Which is true. I'm thankful that, I have no idea how many times the sovereign Lord protects me and does things I'm not even aware of that makes just makes a huge difference in my life. And seriously about that. So, I mean, I'm thankful for that. But, yeah, also had a great time. I bought this wonderful book. You can get it. I'll try to remember. We'll put it in the show notes. It's Pilgrim's Progress for Children.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
It's a great, yeah.
And
it is.
so I've got some grandkids who live down the street, and so once a week they come up. They came up last night, and they come up, and I get Chick-fil-A and put it out for them, and then I read to them from this book.
Wow.
And
How is
Little
this like?
Pilgrim.
Is it like? Are there pictures and
yeah,
stuff?
it's pictures.
I need to see
it's
this.
so
I haven't
good.
seen
It
this.
is. And the thing about it is, it's if you've read The Pilgrim's
Oh, yeah.
Progress,
Oh, yeah.
and you
Oh.
read this one, you go, oh.
All the characters are
Yeah.
in it, but this is
That is awesome.
he's a little rabbit, isn't he, or a little I forgot a squirrel or something. He's a little animal, little pilgrim. It's great, and he's got the little burden on his back, and he's
Oh, my gosh,
so.
cool.
But they love it, and so that's what I was thankful for last night. Just the opportunity to read this and to see their eyes and their desire to hear it, and the chance to actually share that great ancient truth with these grandchildren. Was the greatest joy. That's the thing I was most thankful for. And then afterward, they came up and hugged you, and there's nothing better than that.
Man, that is
There's
awesome.
nothing. So that would be what that, and then not hitting that car on 435.
that's important.
That the Lord took care of.
Hallock,
That's what I'm
last
thankful
thing
for.
you were thankful for?
Oh man, gee whiz, it's a great question. I mean, I'm with Clifton. There's just so many things to be thankful for. I mean, honestly, I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful that we get to do this, that we get to encourage pastors and just do what we're doing. I think, to be honest with you, another thing that happened on my sabbatical is we officially became empty nesters at our house.
Oh, you did.
And so we're adjusting to this new world
Oh, man.
of no kids in our home. But I'll tell you what it makes you thankful for at night. It's a different kind of quiet. And I'm not real crazy about it yet, but it's the quiet. It's nice, but like dropping our son off for college, it's just made me really reflective on how thankful I am for our family, for our kids. And, and I can share this here, but specifically our son, who, I think I've probably shared a little bit on this before, but who battled cancer when he was 13, and dropping him off at college, and the fact that he's been in remission now for 6 years and is doing so well. I'm just so thankful. Those were dark times when we didn't know if he'd make it, and just so thankful for God's kindness. He didn't have to heal my son, but he did, and I'm really thankful for that.
And he obviously had a purpose and a plan.
That's right.
He wants to accomplish.
That's right.
All of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
What about you, Bud? What are you thankful for?
The interesting thing is a lot of people don't know this, and I should probably share a little bit about. I'm adopted, and my parents adopted me while they were in seminary down at Fort Worth. And so I was, they moved to Honduras, but I found them. And
that never gets old.
That never gets old.
That never gets old.
And but I just found my birth family just a couple of years ago, and it's just been a process of getting to know them. And I never wanted it; never even mattered to me that I had a birth family. It just wasn't an issue. My parents had always told me I was adopted, and they asked me, "Do you want us to help you find your birth?" And I always said, "No, it doesn't matter to me." Except my kids, my boys, said, "Dad, we'd like to know if when we get as old as you are, we're going to be nuts like you are." And so we'd like to find out about your DNA a little bit, And it was, okay, if you'll do it, you search. And they found my birth family. It's an amazing, amazing story of God's grace. I mean, how God intervened in my life because he had a purpose and a plan for my life. As I look back, that I know would have never happened if I had stayed in that situation. I had my birth mother was murdered, her husband was murdered, and then their second husband was murdered. It was just one of those kind of situations. I am so thankful that God intervened in my life. Even when I wasn't a believer, I was just a kid, and I think about that the fact that God is intervening in our life all the time, even when we don't know it,
Yes.
Right.
when we don't understand it. Right. Now I have 2 grandchildren who are adopted. And don't think Grandpa and those kids are really connected.
That's cool. Yeah.
And so that makes it's just that full circle thing of watching God work in these kids' lives. And he did something in their life, intervened in their life, and they don't even know it yet. And someday they'll see it and they'll get it. So
it's good stuff.
It's thankful to see that God is at work. Every day when I pray, and I try to model the Lord's Prayer and talk about, give us this day our daily bread, which I interpret as meet our needs for today. And I always find myself asking God to meet the needs that I don't even know I have.
Right.
Because I know he does.
That's right.
So that's what I'm thankful for. What do we tell our people?
Well, I'll tell you what. We are thankful. Frankly, I'm thankful for literally the thousands of you who listen every month. That's been a real encouragement to us. I'm thankful for every pastor out there who's out there working diligently and anonymously. Yep. No one knows who you are, really. You're not going to get any fame in this side of heaven, and the work is tough, and sometimes it's like walking through knee-deep mud. We value you. The Lord values you.
Absolutely.
Your work's important. It's more important than you'll ever know until you get to heaven. Don't ever believe it's not. The word never goes out and comes back void. Don't grow weary in well-doing. We're thankful for you.
Yes.
I mean, the 40-some thousand Southern Baptist pastors who preach to less than 150 every Sunday morning. We're thankful for the rest of you who preach to big churches, but we're really thankful to those of you out there who are really in the difficult places. And we're grateful for that. And that's why we do what we do. We do this. We don't get any money for it. This is just something we do because it's not like we're trying to build up a podcast to have a career or something like that. We do it because we love pastors and we love his church.
That's right.
And I'm thankful. Let's just end with this. I am so thankful that at the end of the day, we know that Jesus has a plan for every church. And I'm thankful he's got a plan for you and for your church. And he will reveal it to you if we will listen to him and lean into him. And I'm just thankful for each one of you. Appreciate you. Have a great Thanksgiving with your family and enjoy them. And, stay with us, subscribe, and let us know how we can help you. All right? Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for joining us today on Revitalize and Replant. This podcast is brought to you by the North American Mission Board. where we help dying or struggling churches regain health for the glory of God and the good of their communities. If you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. To learn more about becoming a replanting pastor or to explore resources about revitalization for your own church, visit churchreplanters.com.